What's up everyone, how are yous? Welcome back to the channel. I Gamer Reacts back with another video for yous, and I hope yous all had a great Thanksgiving, whoever celebrated it. Especially my American supporters, I really appreciate it. One person I don't appreciate is the guy you can see right behind me there, if I'm pointing in the right direction, wherever the hell he is DSP, one of the most despicable, awful human beings. And the biggest lolcow of all time. This guy certainly wasn't thankful, and I'm telling you what, see if he had a bad stream, because I haven't checked out any of his stuff recently, then he probably wasn't thankful. This guy is a moron, and also he just begs for money, like not once in any stream. Or I feel like as a content creator, what we do, or what anyone does, no matter if you have 10 subscribers, if you have 100,000, no matter what you do, is you're there to entertain. You have this privilege of being able to play games or do react content for people, and that's down to you. I do it because I love to do it. Even though, don't get me wrong, I get haters and people that don't like my stuff, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have your opinion. But this guy here demands money for the two big bills, the electric bill and the internet bill, and things like that there. The guy, I don't think I can dislike anyone more than this old fool who looks about 65, and he's probably only about 42 or something. But anyway, enough of my wee rant here. I just had to get that off the chest before we get in there, because I do know about this guy, and I've never really liked him, but this is I think it's maybe older stuff that we're going to be watching here of him maybe like crying and breaking down, and also I can't wait for it, folks. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out the Gamer 1985 My Gaming channel if you like gaming stuff, where you don't ever need to donate unless you ever wanted to, but there's no obligation, unlike this fella here who demands it every single stream. We do this as a privilege, and I respect everybody that comes along. I even just love it that people want to watch, that gives me enough strength to continue through my day, and that's what I'm thankful for. But anyway, enough of me going on my wee rant here and turning into DSP. Let's go for it, folks.
Yes! World order.
By the way, check out Duty Streams, Snort Hogan and stuff. They're Korean content creators that deserve all the love and support.
I just care about money. I just can't help it.
That's it. Yeah.
Money.
For the internet bill.
First of all, take
He always cried on. Yeah. Deal with it, fella, 100%. Life's tough. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the reason that I read that to you guys is because I just want you guys to understand that means the world to me when I get a message.
Did this guy not spend all his money on mobile
tough.
games?
My
declare
life
bankruptcy?
has been tough over the last decade. It has. And when I read a message like that, I'm sorry that I'm tearing up like a baby. But when I read a message like that,
he
it
looks
makes me
about
feel like it was
70.
worth it, like
Fuck me, the guy
all the
looks
shit
fucked.
that happened to me, and all the stress and the mental shit that I go through on a daily basis. Sometimes
I can't see no tears.
that it's worth it because there's people out there who got something out of all of this. It wasn't just some dickhead in front of a camera, doing stupid videos. That it actually meant something to people, and that means the world to me. That there's people out there that for a decade that they've been watching me and they've been following me and they've been watching my life
stuff. It's
evolve
boring as fuck.
and how I've become a better person. Admittedly, when I started, I did so many stupid things that, I didn't realize were stupid.
Did he fucking not beat his meat on the stream as well?
Especially the last 3 to 4 years, I've changed
fuck
as
of
a
a fool.
person and a content creator, and I realize now, we have things going on in the world right now with Black Lives Matter and stuff, and you look back at the stuff that I've done, I'm like, man, I was an idiot with the stuff that I said and did, not caring about, if anyone was offended or hurt by the stuff that I did, because there was thousands of people watching me, and I actually now, when I get an email like that, all right, it makes me feel like people grew with me, that this whole thing, I told you guys that this whole thing was a crazy life experiment, that I felt I never knew that anything that I ever did would have that impact. When I started, it wasn't about that. It was just
This thing's putting me to sleep already, folks.
I saw every video game nerd making videos.
I'm sleeping underneath these sunglasses.
No budget, but talent. Then I can do it too.
The guy's just so bored.
You know what I mean?
Just
And
hear the
now
voice.
I feel that over 10 years later, even if there's so many shitheads who hate me, there's at least a
Yep.
body of work
I do.
on the internet that you guys can watch whenever you want, and you can see my evolution as a person over the last decade.
None
And
whatsoever.
that means the world to me to get a message like that. And listen, I'm certainly not trying to downplay people who have been incredibly supportive to me on the streams and everything, but that could be kind of message right there. That makes it all worthwhile. It does. Like that, it touches me, and it makes me know that, there are people who get it. That there are people who get it. They
Losers.
understand who I am and what I'm about and why I've done this as long as I have and why I'm still doing it, and I'm not going to give up doing it, When I went to arcades to play video games, I kind of felt like, because I had some skill, that, like, I finally kind of belonged somewhere. Like, we all liked Street Fighter, and we were all competing against each other and all that. I never thought that, like, playing Street Fighter was going to change my life.
Oh, gee, fuck
It
me.
changed my life. It really did.
He's
I
getting
started
older
traveling,
every
I started
video, it
being
looks
more
like.
outgoing,
Looks
meeting
about
people,
fucking
having
80
good
now.
relationships, even though we've already gone around about the trolling topic of how bad that was when I was in competitive Street Fighter as well. That's the other video. That's the Down the Rabbit Hole video about me. If you want to look at that react, I explain that in full.
I love the piano in the background, like
That
the
was-
sad music.
I really look back at that time so positively. I do. Scott was such a unique dude. T was such a unique guy. And they're not with us anymore.
It's his fake crying I'm laughing at, folks. There's nothing about the topics,
There were positive influences on the planet. And they're not with us anymore. That's life, man.
Oh, it's his fake
The
crying.
best of us get taken way too early. And the rest of us are just stuck here, right? But previous to me making this video about Scott, which I didn't make a video about Scott, let me clarify that. That's a segment of a podcast that I did.
His
One
podcasts are
segment,
the fucking
okay?
worst.
Was the podcast
It's not a podcast.
monetized? Of course it was. Everything that I put out was monetized at that time. It's how I made my living. And I did the same thing with T, by the way. And I don't have that for you. I don't want to play that for you. That's already been here. That's not the subject matter of this video that we're reacting to today. Okay. But
The music in the background is getting...
basically, I did a T tribute, and in the T tribute, this is something people always wanted me to talk about on my podcast about my past and stories about my past.
Nobody cares about your
And
past. Nobody cares
in
about
the
your
past,
future.
Someone, because I was
You're
known
a
on YouTube,
lolcow.
obviously, I was a known YouTuber, and people knew from over the years of me talking about my old formative days of Street Fighter that I was friends with this kid T Carter before he had passed.
What was his best finish in a
Someone
fucking
came
Street
to me
Fighter
one day at a
tournament? Wasn't
at
that
a-
like
not a
fifth or
tournament,
something?
Excuse me, I think it was
Fourth?
a convention. It could have been a tournament. And they handed me a packet of photos. The packet of photos was his personal packet. He said, "Phil, I want you to have this." I said, "What is this?" He goes, "These are pictures of T. And actually, Scott's in a couple of them, too." And he says, "These are pictures that I want you to have because you are known on YouTube." And he says, T was such a beautiful guy.
T, give me some
I'm not
donations.
talking about his looks. His personality. He was outgoing.
I've got a few bills to
He
pay.
was full of energy. He was the nicest guy. He had a passion for Street Fighter. He was the best player in Connecticut. The entire time he was alive, he was the best player in Connecticut. Okay? He said, "I'd like you to have these pictures because I know you were a friend with T. And you have the ability on YouTube. You have the reach, the clout.
But
You can share
R.I.P.
his
Danny.
story
Friends that he's
with
talking
people
to
on
that
the
aren't
internet.
here no more,
Not only a
have to
lot
say
of people
that.
know about T because he didn't
Respect
get to live that long.
and, for them, not for this loser
And
here.
you
trying to
can be
cry.
the person to tell his story. So I did. I made a video on a podcast just like that, and I had scanned the pictures into my computer, okay? And I shared it with the world. The podcast doesn't get a lot of views. Okay? The
Nothing you
podcast
do gets
maybe
any
got
views, Phil.
10,000,
It's fucking
maybe
terrible.
20,000 views.
200 odd thousand subscribers.
Okay.
Fucking
I
no
thought I
views.
did a good job doing a tribute to T. All right. And I did as best I could. Now I'm going to tell you guys something that nobody knows.
Oh,
I was haunted by T's death for a very long time. I actually feel like it was one of the reasons why I originally had depression. Because it happened to me at a time in my life when my God, I hadn't dealt with death or loss. And although everyone in Connecticut was hurting at the time when he died, I blamed myself for it. That day, he was walking home from playing Street Fighter at this kid's house, and a gang member decided to shoot him for no reason. I guess, you know, there's all kinds of...
That's crazy, and R.I.P. to him, you know.
That hit the streets was that this gang member, this was their initiation. Oh, prove that you're hard enough to be part of our gang by just murdering someone in the fucking street walking home. He got shot. Okay? And I blame myself because I said if I had hung out with T that day and I had driven him to his friend's house, I could have driven him home. Before I moved out of Connecticut, I drove to his grave and couldn't get out of the car. I didn't say goodbye before I left because I couldn't do it because I was too fucking weak. Because I was so haunted at losing this guy. And this was many years later. He died in the late 90s. This was 2014 and I couldn't do it.
What?
Okay?
That's the best way to
can't
show
monetize
respect.
so
Go
much
to the
shit.
grave
Right.
and
I don't know how
put
worse
flowers
you can be
down,
of a person
pray,
to say
do what
something.
you need to do, let it all
Right.
out.
Okay? But T had...
I'm sort of glad that one's because that one was a wee bit more
Dalcine,
sad. But
Blanca, and Zangief, but he had a duplicate of Blanca and Zangief. You see? Between the two of us, there was no way that we were going to get a whole set for each of us.
I have
It
that.
wasn't
Have
possible.
Los Santos. Have
Okay?
feel
And
like
they
burning
didn't
it.
exist anymore. You couldn't get them anymore. Once they were in the arcades for that first, 6 months Street Fighter 2 was out, once they were gone, they were gone. That was the end. They were, there was no way to get these ever again. They weren't sold anywhere. That was it. So
Has someone like him
basically
have
we sat there,
637
the
members
tables
even
in the
then?
back of the arcade, and we were looking at what we
me.
had, and we were gonna do the swap. And T basically goes, you know what, man? He goes,
Oh, here we go. What the hell does that sound? He's thinking about WWE champions there. I think.
he said, you know what, man? You just have them. He said, just have them. Just take them.
And you went.
And he gave me them
No
all.
sweat. Have you any more donations?
That was the kind of guy that he was, like the nicest possible guy. Everyone who ever met him loved him.
No one can say that about you, Phil.
And
Desperate Side Phil, it should be called now.
it was the nicest thing. He definitely didn't have to do that. He basically just said, here, what ones don't you have? And he gave me all the ones I didn't have. He gave me the whole set.
By the way, folks, I'm
If you don't
laughing
know
at
why I'm
his.
crying, 'cause maybe you
Oh,
have
his
no idea,
crying.
because he
It's-
passed away. He was murdered, and everyone in Connecticut was never the same after that. We were all, totally different people because we couldn't deal with it because it was so messed up, And it was my first encounter with real death and loss, and lucky for me that I did keep them.
You have no respect for people that are alive, for fucking people that are dead. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself.
Yep, I agree. 100% I agree.
There you go.
It's good to see people call him DSP what he really is, a narcissist, a selfish pig with no empathy for others and only cares about himself. He always plays victim and deserves. Yeah, 100%. Look, that was a bit sad.
Listen, you son of a bitch. What the fuck's your problem?
This
You get in my
video
face
was
with
a
that,
bit
I'll
more
beat your
sad. I
goddamn
thought
ass,
it
you
was
son of a
funny, but obviously
bitch.
he talked
You piece of
about
shit.
a friend that died. Now that's... I never knew about that, and anytime I was laughing at DSP, because like 99% of the world's better in DSP. But yeah, this beggar, I was a youth worker, and I used to do a lot of work with the homeless, especially younger people that were homeless, and anytime I spoke to them, they were just so grateful for a conversation. And don't get me wrong, you could tell that they needed something. Now I would rather give them food or maybe get them a different blanket or a sleeping bag or something. You know, I would always be, what do you need? Coffee, right? I'll go to a shop, get you a coffee, instead of maybe handing over money all the time, you know. Or if they needed food, go in and grab them something to eat, you know. And they were always so grateful. Never heard them ask for any more. If you were to get them something, they wouldn't go, "I'll get me something else, that's not enough." This guy here demands more and more from everybody and doesn't give anything back. I can't remember the last time he did anything for his followers, you know. Whether that's give a game away. Someone, he always says and claims he's a small YouTuber, but he'll never ever like do. Well, he technically he is really small with the views he gets, but I mean with the money he makes, he could go, look, I've bought this Street Fighter game. Who wants to be in for a raffle or something, and we'll give this away to the winner. You know, never heard him do anything like that. You know, and it pisses me off. You know, because I have 500 subscribers here, which I appreciate and love, and I'm so thankful everyone comes along and watches, and over 5,000 on the other one, which I'm so thankful as well for, you know. And not once have I ever went, "Give me your money, I need donations." I find it hard, I'm depressed, I struggle with bills, but I never ever once go, "Oh, give me money." You know, I just want people to come here and have a good time, you know. So, sorry about my wee rant there. This guy is on my top 10, you know, hated people list, and for that reason, you know, just begging non-stop, you know. Yeah, it's crazy. I just can't wait to see him fail. It's a sad thing to say, but you know, I think it's true, and I think most people that like lolcow content are all in this. Whether it's Wings of Redemption, Boogie, anyone like that, there, you know, LTG, which by the way, it gets me to a point, folks. Do you want me to do some more DSP stuff, or do you want to see Low Tier God, anyone else? Wings of Redemption stuff, because I don't mind going back and forth, you know, if it's content people want to see. It was a bit different, but I didn't know what to expect from this video. It just was like DSP crying on stream, so I didn't know what it would be about. Thought it would be about low support, so it surprised me when he was talking there about his friend that unfortunately passed away. You know, that is sad, but you know, it's just anytime you see him, he just looked older in every single video. Crazy. But anyway, folks, look, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know I've rambled a wee bit there, and I've taken up a bit of your time. Thanks again for everything you do. If you want to support the channel a wee bit more, like, subscribe, and also check out the NIGamer1985. That's all you need to do ever. You know what I mean? You're not required to give me money ever. You know, unlike DSP, who if you go into his chat, you're needing to give him something. Here you don't. Just give me your time. Just watch the videos, check me out. That's all I appreciate. So it is, and thank you for. But anyway, folks, again, you all have a great one. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.